What happens when the world's most unapologetic star vanishes from the charts, burns bridges with his own label, and reappears wandering the streets of Los Angeles in nothing but cowboy boots? This isn't a publicity stunt. This is the story of Lil Nas X, one of the biggest viral sensations of our generation, crashing into a reality nobody saw coming. Arrests, cryptic messages, a complete mental breakdown, and a truth that's darker than anyone expected. But before we dive into the bizarre meltdown that has the entire internet in shock, let's rewind to where it all started. The $30 beat that made him a superstar. Lil Nas X wasn't supposed to be here. He was a college dropout, sleeping on his sister's couch, scrolling through Twitter in search of a break. Then he found a beat on a random website for $30. That beat? It would become Old Town Road. Released independently in December 2018, the track didn't sound like a future cultural phenomenon. It was a meme cowboy hats, yeehaw challenges, TikTok edits. But then something wild happened. TikTok caught fire, and the song went nuclear. Millions of kids lip-synced to that country trap mashup, and suddenly Billboard was forced to pay attention. But then came the drama. Billboard kicked Old Town Road off the country chart, claiming it didn't embrace enough elements of today's country music. The backlash was instant. Fans accused Billboard of gatekeeping and racism, and Lil Nas X, he turned that controversy into gold. Enter Billy Ray Cyrus. Their remix shot straight to #1 and stayed there for a record-breaking 19 weeks. At just 20 years old, Nas went from broke to headlining award shows, hanging with A-listers, and buying cars he couldn't even drive. It was the ultimate rags to riches story, but with fame came something darker, a hunger for attention that would later spiral out of control. And that's where the next chapter begins. Because Lil Nas X wasn't content with just being a one-hit wonder. He wanted to be untouchable. Lil Nas X understood something most artists never figure out. Hate can make you rich. He didn't just make music, he made moments. And those moments, they were designed to break the internet. Take the Montero Call Me By Your Name rollout. He didn't just drop a song, he dropped a cultural bomb. A music video with biblical themes, lap dances for the devil, and visuals so provocative that entire churches were posting reaction videos. Overnight, Nas wasn't just trending, he was being debated on Fox News. And then came the Satan shoes, custom Nike Air Max 97s with a drop of human blood. Price tag? $1,018, only 666 pairs. It was marketing genius, until Nike sued. But did Nas panic? Nope. He trolled the lawsuit like it was a comedy special. "Y'all acting like I sacrificed 2,000 babies," he tweeted. Memes exploded, sales skyrocketed, and the song? It hit #1. Lil Nas X had mastered the art of outrage. He weaponized shock value. Every backlash, every angry tweet, every church boycott, it was free advertising. But here's the problem with building your empire on controversy. Eventually, people get bored. And when that day came, Nas wasn't ready. Because the next move he made, it didn't just flop. It triggered a chain reaction that would destroy everything. For years, Lil Nas X was the king of shock marketing. But then came J.Christ. It was supposed to be his next big stunt. An album teasing biblical imagery, controversial merch drops, and cryptic posts about saving the industry. Fans hated it. The rollout felt desperate. Instead of sparking debates, it sparked memes. The wrong kind. People called it cringe. Some even said he was mocking Christianity for attention. And when the numbers came in, they were brutal. Streams tanked, radio ignored him, and for the first time since Old Town Road, Lil Nas X wasn't trending. Behind the scenes, insiders claim his label panicked. Budgets got slashed, projects were delayed. The superstar who once broke the internet with a single tweet was now struggling to get likes. And the pressure, it started eating him alive. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about fame. When the noise stops, the silence is louder than you can imagine. In interviews, Nas hinted at burnout, saying he felt lost and disconnected. But what fans didn't see were the late-night tweets, the cryptic Instagram stories, and the rumors swirling through industry circles. Some claimed he was spiraling into heavy partying. Others whispered about substance use. Nothing confirmed, but the signs were there. He began experimenting with alter egos online, posting as Queen Malene and even teasing songs under fake accounts. It felt unhinged, like someone trying to escape their own identity. And then came the strangest move yet. Lil Nas X reportedly started living out of Airbnbs in LA. No mansion, no entourage, just a revolving door of rentals. Fans joked about him being broke, but insiders weren't laughing. Rumors spread that he'd blown through millions on lawsuits, extravagant spending, and PR stunts. Whether true or not, one thing was clear: Nas was slipping. And then came the night that changed everything. The night Lil Nas X was found wandering the streets of LA, alone, half-dressed, and out of his mind. It was 3 a.m. on a quiet LA street when witnesses spotted a man stumbling barefoot, wearing only cowboy boots and a leather vest. At first, people thought it was a TikTok prank, but when they got closer, they realized it was Lil Nas X. Shaky videos hit Twitter within minutes. You can hear him mumbling, clutching a Bible, asking for forgiveness. Fans panicked. Was he high? Was this a breakdown? Or was this another stunt? Police arrived, and that's when the real chaos started. According to early reports, Nas resisted officers and had to be restrained. Rumors claim he was sedated before being taken to a hospital. And when TMZ dropped the headline, Lil Nas X arrested after bizarre street incident, the internet exploded. But here's where things get really strange. Hours later, cryptic posts appeared on his Instagram. Dark images, religious quotes, references to rebirth. Nobody knows if he posted them or if someone on his team took over, and that's when the conspiracy theories began. Within 24 hours, Reddit was flooded with theories. Some claim Nas had been silenced by the industry. Others said this was a humiliation ritual, part of some secret Hollywood agenda. A few even connected it to his old Satan shoe stunt, calling it karma. Now, are these theories true? Probably not. But in an industry this dark, this powerful, can anyone really say for sure? All we know is that Lil Nas X went from controlling the narrative to being controlled by it, and the next move his team made only added fuel to the fire. Days after the incident, his label dropped a statement calling it a medical emergency. But fans weren't buying it. Why no details? Why delete half his posts? Why scrub mentions of the arrest? Meanwhile, paparazzi spotted movers clearing out one of his LA rentals. Insiders whispered about indefinite leave from music. And when Spotify quietly removed him from some major playlists, the writing was on the wall. Lil Nas X wasn't just taking a break, he was being erased. As of now, Lil Nas X hasn't released new music in months. His social media, a ghost town. Some fans are hopeful, saying he's planning a comeback. Others think the damage is done, that he's officially blacklisted. Either way, one thing's certain. This isn't the same kid who broke the internet with a $30 beat. This is someone who climbed the highest peak of fame, only to fall harder than anyone expected. And maybe that's the real story here. In a world obsessed with virality, what happens when the algorithm turns its back on you? What happens when you've built your entire career on controversy and people stop caring? That's the price of chasing fame. And Lil Nas X just paid it in full.